What's going on YouTube? It's Unger to the Max here. A salute to you. And go Cubs go. And this is going to sound really random, but I want to talk about a couple teams that I will never be able to forgive. And it's from specific years. So I want to start with 2007. The 2007 Boston Red Sox. Because in 2007, the Indians first beat the New York Yankees in the ALDS in 4 games to advance to the ALCS, where they would play the Boston Red Sox, who defeated the Anaheim Angels. I think they were called the Anaheim Angels at the time, or they might have been called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They might as well just change their name to the Anaheim Angels. I don't know why they're called the Los Angeles Angels, because they're not Los Angeles. They're the Anaheim Angels. I mean, the Anaheim Ducks are not called the Los Angeles Ducks of Anaheim. No, they're called the Anaheim Ducks. So the Angels should change their name to the Anaheim Angels. Just saying. But anyway, so the Indians were up 3 games to 1 in that series in the ALCS against the Boston Red Sox. Hold on. I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. I guess not. And I thought the Indians were going to go to the World Series, where I think they would have beat the Rockies. Because the Rockies' 2007 World Series run was a total fluke. And the Red Sox swept them in the World Series. I don't think any of the games were even that competitive. So, that's the first team that I can't forgive. The 2007 Boston Red Sox. Second team that I can't forgive. 2007 San Antonio Spurs. Although, by that same token, the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers did not deserve to be in the... I hate to say this as a Cavaliers fan, but we were not ready to be in the NBA Finals. I mean, LeBron had to put the team on his back and carry us past the Eastern Conference Finals against the Detroit Pistons. I think in Game 5 of that series, he had like 28 straight points for us. So, I mean, did we belong in that series against the Spurs? No, but that doesn't mean I can forgive the Spurs for that. So I still can't forgive them. Okay, next team. Also 2007, I'm pretty sure. The Indianapolis Colts. The Browns had just beaten the San Francisco 49ers to finish off their season in Cleveland. And at that game, there was a section dedicated to the Indianapolis Colts. Why? Because the Colts had Sunday Night Football that night against the Tennessee Titans. And all the Colts had to do was beat the Titans at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And, speaking of Indianapolis, I think that's going to be the next arena I go to, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And it's looking like it will be March 14th, which will be when Paul George comes back to Indiana with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I will definitely be rooting for the Pacers in that game, even though Victor Oladipo won't be there because he's out for the rest of the year, unfortunately. But the Pacers are still doing well, surprisingly. I think they're in third place in the Eastern Conference. Anyway, so all the Colts had to do was beat the Titans, and the Browns would have been in the playoffs. Nope. That didn't happen. Instead, the Titans beat the Colts, and the Titans went to the playoffs, and I think they lost to the Chargers, and then the Chargers would go on to play the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game, and where the Patriots would go on to beat the Chargers, go to Super Bowl 42, where they lost to the New York Giants 17-14, and were not able to go 19-0. leaving the 1972 Miami Dolphins as the only unbeaten team in NFL history. And I also can't forgive the Colts for 2013. That season, the Browns were in position for a wild card potentially. As a season ticket holder, which I just renewed my season tickets, so I'll be posting more in-game footage from the Browns Stadium for games against Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, LA Rams, Seattle Seahawks, and Tennessee Titans. Let's see. Oh, so in 2013, Browns were up like 28-0 or something against the Indianapolis Colts, or it was something like that. And if the Browns beat the Colts, they would have been in position to potentially get a wild card spot. But unfortunately, the Colts were able to come back and they beat the Browns, and the Browns did not go to the playoffs. So I know this is really random, but those are just some teams I can't forgive. But yeah. And there's a player I can't forgive. Kevin Durant. He is easily, in my opinion, the biggest wussy I have ever seen. Him and Russell Westbrook in 2016 were up three games to one against the team that had won 73 games and set NBA record for the most wins in league history with the Golden State Warriors. And the Thunder were up 3 games to 1. One win, and they would have played us in the NBA Finals. But no, they couldn't close it out. And, the Warriors ended up coming back and winning that series. And thankfully, we beat them in the NBA Finals. But Kevin Durant goes, I guess I can't beat the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to join them. And he's gotten back-to-back Finals MVP. And he's got back-to-back NBA championships, which the Cavaliers did not deserve to be in the NBA Finals last year. Boston against Golden State would have been a much better series. Although, maybe we would have pushed it to 5 games if J.R. Smith hadn't screwed up with the clock in Game 1. And I will also say, if Kelly Olynyk hadn't been a bitch in Game 4 of the 2015 first round matchup between the Cavaliers and Celtics, where he pulled out Kevin Love's shoulder, and if Kyrie Irving didn't get hurt in Game 1 of the finals against Golden State, I think we would have repeated as back-to-back NBA champs. Seriously. Although, did we have some luck on our side in 2016? Yes. Draymond Green getting suspended for Game 5, and Andrew Bogut going out with the knee injury, but what are you going to do? But for me, 2016 was amazing because my 2 favorite teams of all time won a championship in the same year. And they both did it on the road in Game 7. And they both came back from a 3-1 deficit. The Cavaliers did it first by coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the Golden State Warriors. And then the Cubs did it coming back from 3-1 against the Indians. Now, I will say, Game 1 of the World Series in 2016, of course, was in Cleveland due to the All-Star game, which that's not a thing anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just refresh your memory. What used to happen is that the league who won the All-Star game got home field advantage for the World Series. That's why the 2014 World Series started in Kansas City. I think the Royals would have hosted the 2015 World Series regardless because they had the best record. 2016, that's why the Indians hosted it. Otherwise, if it had gone by record, the Cubs would have had home field advantage. And then 2017, I think, is when they got rid of it. And that's why the Dodgers had home field advantage. Anyway, so game 1 of the 2016 World Series between the Cubs and Indians was the same night as the Cavaliers banner raising. So, and I wanted to go to banner raising. I didn't want to go across the street to Progressive Field for the game 1 of the World Series because I'm just not ready for a nighttime Indians game yet. Maybe I did go to a Sunday afternoon game and I was fine. I actually surprisingly sat through like 6 or 7 innings with the Indians batting, which I didn't think I would do. So I would like to go to a couple more Indians games, like the last home game of the season against Philadelphia, and the Indians have, and I don't know if I can do that game. A game in May against Baltimore. But anyway, so what happened was a lot of the fans who were at the banner raising didn't stay for the game. They got tickets to the Cavs game. They stayed for the banner raising, and they're like, oh, now I gotta get over to game 1 of the World Series. Come on. You are not a true fan. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you're a true fan. A true fan would have stayed at the Cavs game for the entire thing. I mean, I get that it's game 1 of the World Series. And believe me, I totally understand that. And maybe this is just my perspective because I'm a diehard Cavaliers fan. But I would have stayed at one or the other. I would have gone straight to game 1 of the World Series, or I would have stayed for the entire Cavs game. I wouldn't have gone, I'm going to go to the Cavs game for the banner raising and then head over to the World Series. No, I wouldn't have done that. So that's just a little rant about teams I can't forgive and fans leaving the Cavs game before the game even started to go to the World Series.